Really?
Yeah, it's more. I've seen more women, and
Well,
my biggest thing that I think that's really been making me like, but why? Is everybody's going based off of information that was given based on her crime situation in California, and they make it sound like thousands and thousands of innocent black men were tried and put in jail and given maximum sentences. But when you go and do the homework, out of the 100 cases, literally 100 cases that she did, only about 42 of them were ever prosecuted to the maximum extent.
hmm,
So it's like y'all are basing numbers off of cases that y'all don't know the whole thing. Then I've
right.
seen other people talking about they not voting for her because in a past life she was a side chick. What's that got to do with anything? And the
Yeah,
crazy
that's.
part about it is some of the ones who I've seen said it, you're currently a side chick right now.
Mm,
You just don't want the world to know you are.
oh goodness.
So it's
I
one.
I don't understand how women that's saying that mostly because if anybody know how to run a country full of women, it's a woman. She
But
know what we need. She understand, you know, politics from the perspective of a woman. You would think that women would trust her.
we are also our own worst enemies for no reason whatsoever, too, though, if you pay attention. Like, we're the most vocal about stuff that we don't like. Meanwhile, regardless of whether or not we like her or we like where she came from or the whole 9 yards, we're the ones who feel like, well, I'm going to take my vote elsewhere or I'm not going to vote at all.
Right.
Whereas in, let's take the Republican Party. You think everybody who's a Republican likes Trump? They don't. But they know what the Republican Party stands for
Yeah.
and what it represents. And at the end of the day, they know that he's just a figurehead when it's all said and done. So we'll put him in. That gives Republican control. If something goes on in the Senate and we don't agree with the Democrats don't agree with it, it comes back to him because he's a Republican. It sways in our way, so it still breaks even as long as it's lawful, and they'll get more stuff done. But we look at things so differently that we'll waste a vote and not vote for someone who could at least stop something from it. Because I don't think a lot of people understand what it actually means for him to get back in office on multiple different levels. So not just in regards to Trump himself, but the position that he would hold and how it would just shape the way America has looked even more worse than what it is. But that's a wild concept altogether, though.
Yeah, that's you said a lot.
I apologize for that.
You said a lot.
But what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Where I Come From. It is I, Mr. Tone Deaf. I am back in the building. I took a little vacation from recording me personally because, as you can see, even by the display of this right now, TDR is going through a few changes for the good. So I'm getting back to business, though. So you're probably going to get about maybe 6 or 7 episodes from me real shortly. For those of you guys who listen to the audio, I did just get done dropping the Fear of Flying series. So definitely make sure you go out and check that out. It took me 1 whole year to put that together. So it's a very personal piece in regards to that. But I am joined today by a very special young lady. She has definitely been on this show before. It was actually one of my favorite shows I did so far.
Which one? What was it titled?
I think we were just talking about relationships. I don't even know how we got there.
Now I'm gonna have to go back because
I
we
gotta go
did.
back. Because
We
you
did
did
record.
you did whatchamacallit, you did Kenda's show, you did Mine and My Own first,
Mm-hmm.
and basically you did mine as a follow-up to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
technically I would be a part 2.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back and listen.
Matter of fact, I can go tell you the name of that one. But as you can hear, this beautiful voice that you hear, those on screen who's immediately across from me is Miss Desi Grant's in the building, aka Desi Ray.
Accountability.
You know what I'm saying? Where my see these ain't I don't push the button. There we go. There go my clock. These ain't my buttons.
You got a lot of nice buttons over there too.
All right,
Like Seinfeld. Did I see someone that said Seinfeld?
depending on whose show it was, you may have,
That's crazy.
because we got a lot of stuff on here. You got to be careful with button you push though, because a lot of these buttons they do a lot of different things here. Oh, we were talking about correcting the norms in regards to relationship. That's what we talked about last time. But this is a great follow up to that, though.
It is.
It's a great follow up to that one because today, people, we are having a conversation about friends without benefits. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, well, what the hell? Friends without benefits, in a long story short, is just basically platonic friends who we are not trying to cross those lines of romantic interest.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Desi were just having an off air conversation one day that actually sparked this topic. Today's society, it seems as if a lot of people feel like you can't be friends if the person you're friends with checks a lot of your boxes.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
And it's to the point right now that even in regular relationships, which is what made me really want to talk about this, is even in relationships, a lot of people are very insecure with their mates having friends of the opposite sex. Especially if they, let's keep it real, look better than you.
Wow.
Let's be honest with you. A lot of times,
I feel like most of the time, men are going to have a woman and then find the woman that he can't have more attractive.
Why do you feel that?
I don't know. It just seems like that. It's like, why would I go and, like on somebody that's physically, because men are physical creatures,
Okay.
right? You like to see, you're visual. So why would I go and be attracted to someone or like someone who is not as attractive as who I'm with now? Attractively, physically, visually.
Okay. No,
I don't know. It's just a theory.
No,
I don't know. I'm
it,
not in men's head.
No. Let's stay there because that actually may be something that's worth even talking about. So let's take me for an example. Okay. I have a business that is 65% women. Okay. And out those 65% women, because it's a visual business, a lot of women tend to make sure that they look good. You turn the camera on, you can't look like you busted. You usually make sure you look good.
Yeah.
So by definition, I have a lot of beautiful women that are around me all the time. These are also the same women that are really good friends for me.
Mm-hmm.
They're my safe space just as much as I'm their safe space here at TDR. But that does not mean that the person who I'm dating or the person I'm involved with needs to feel inferior because she just happened to put that shit on today.
Mm-hmm.
Or let's use the panel for an example. I got 7 beautiful women. Okay. None of them miss. Okay. It's just me.
Okay, period. You better gas your coworkers.
Oh, I gas them all the time. None of them miss. Okay. And people know that because it was a funny thing. There was one point in time when someone was trying to recruit somebody from my network to come join their network. They went and told them that I only have all these women on my networks because I'm trying to get with y'all on the low. They laughed at him. They laughed at him so hard because that's never been my thing.
Yeah,
like I literally have a rule where I don't mix business with pleasure. And even in opening interviews, I usually say that. But that doesn't mean that there are not men out there who don't want to be somebody's friends because she looks good.
Mm-hmm.
I won't put that past it. There are a lot of guys out here who they may want to attempt to shoot their shot in that moment or have attempted to shoot their shot and got shot down, but they were cool with stepping back and playing the friend role.
I've never met that type. I've never met a man who, like me, is attracted to me, and then can turn around and say, yeah, we're not going to be, we're going to just be friends. Men, in my experience, don't really want to be my friend. I think I told you this.
This is how the conversation started.
How it started, because it breaks my heart. Like, I want some male friends. What do you mean? But it's just not fair. Like, they either always crossing the line, or they always trying to shoot their shot,
Okay.
Or it's just.
So do you want me to talk like a podcaster, or do you want me to talk like the way I talk to you directly?
You should talk. This is me.
No. Because what I'm getting ready to tell you,
that same energy. You my friend. Like, let's chop it up then.
No. The reason why I asked that is because I talked to you. We've had this conversation.
Right.
Okay. We had this conversation. You are not the typical woman that most men come across. Okay,
wait a minute. You're going to have to break that down.
That's why I said you want me to talk like that. You are what we would refer to as a chocolate unicorn.
I think I heard you say that
I
name
did.
before. Like, what is that? Who made it
Okay.
up?
You are what's referred to as a chocolate unicorn. The reason why I call you a chocolate unicorn is because you're very melanated.
Okay.
Okay. But you have good skin. Okay. I'm not saying that people have bad skin, but you have natural beauty.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you strip down the makeup, you take everything that men complain that women put on to make themselves look better and stand out even more. If you strip you down to the bare natural look that bald-headed men with podcasts be talking about women need to be, that's a theme here at our network. We say that. You still have natural beauty.
Okay.
Okay. So number one, most men are going to approach you off of that alone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number two, you are very intelligent. I know that because we have conversations all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We have regular conversations. We have everyday life conversations. We have friend conversations. You are very intelligent and knowledgeable about who you are, about what you talk about. And then what you don't know, you are smart enough to say, put a pin in this, let me go do my homework on it, and then we'll come back to that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is very rare for a man this day and age to find a woman who could literally be equal in the level of intelligence. A man will literally look past a lot of physical features and a lot of physical issues if a woman's intellect and drive is there.
Okay. I hear that.
So
I'm going to add, and not to flip it, because I know women, when we have conversations, it's not a competition, but I do want to say it's the same for women. Like, we will look past bald head. We will look past,
everything.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we will look past it if you can hold a conversation with us. Like, stimulate my mind.
Exactly.
Challenge my thinking. Like,
okay. Now, here's some added plus. Okay. You carry yourself with a level of respect and dignity that is often not seen, but you also do it while walking with the light of God. Okay. If you take those four entities, okay, and you put them in a bowl, you're not going to get too many people who know how to bake that cake. Okay. So if a guy has the opportunity to sit down with you long enough and be able to experience all four of those entities with you, and usually being a friend is when a person can see all of this, they are going to subconsciously say, I'll be stupid to let this chocolate unicorn walk away. And especially if they're your friends and they know the quality of women that they've been getting, because I can tell you right now, most men that you've been friends with, you are the measuring stick to what they look for in a woman. So if you check all 13 of their boxes, their whole thing is, well, God, this must be meant for me.
I see.
You see what I'm saying?
I see.
So I can see why they wouldn't want to just be friends without at least attempting.
But eventually, this is what I've heard in the last couple of days. So I'll meet someone and they'll want to, and I would be like, I'm like, no, we're just friends. And they would, what was I going to say? They would either, okay, I didn't lost my train of thought.
They would either be okay with being friends, but still keep pushing the boundaries.
That part.
Okay.
Like, yeah, we can be friends, but let me try this. Let me try to say this, to do this. Like, no, you're still trying. You're not really trying to be my friend. Or they would say like something about a friend zone. Like, I'm not finna be friend zoned, and they won't talk to me ever. So I either get a friend or I get a I get an interested friend, like one who claim me my friend, but really trying it. Or I get no friends at all.
Okay. We live in a day and age right now where a lot of women emphasize pressure. You have to apply pressure. A lot of guys no longer want to be just a friend anymore and just sit back and be quiet, especially if they are interested in that woman. Okay. Number two, this is a personal thing. You've actually openly admitted this yourself, and I'll admit this too because I have this problem myself. Sometimes you can give mixed signals because you can unintentionally be flirty.
Okay, well, I flirt by just having my eyeballs open.
I said unintentionally. I said unintentionally.
I can't help it.
I didn't say you were going out here purposefully trying to get these guys to be all riled up, but you can honestly unintentionally be flirting. And sometimes that will confuse a dude. Whereas they thinking, okay, we cool, we in the friend zone, and then your playful nature and your honest openness and your just typical behavior
Mm-hmm.
could make them say, okay, but wait a minute, should I? Is she trying to let me know I got it? And
Mm-hmm.
some men could get confused on that. But
Yeah.
a lot of them is just honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, they really. It's rare to find good women in this day and age that are not superficial,
Mm-hmm.
and that is not all about what social media norms are.
Mm-hmm.
So when you find someone who doesn't meet those social media norms, and like I said, still checks your 13 boxes on your thing, it does
Yeah.
become very difficult for them to say no. Even I'm not gonna lie, I've even had some cases in my past where me and someone are friends, and I was like, but you keep doing stuff that makes me like you. So let me have this conversation
Yeah.
for a minute to see if it's a possibility.
Yeah.
And then if it's not a possibility, or you keep hitting me with the not right now kind of a conversation, I can see how that can cause confusion later on down the road. Because if it's not right now, so okay, that maybe there's something that you need to work through first. And
Mm-hmm.
in your particular situation, that's not the case. You just really want friends,
Mm-hmm.
but until they actually see a guy that's occupying your time, it's gonna
It's
take a
gonna be
minute for
pressure.
it's gonna take a minute for a
Continued
lot of
applied
them to
pressure.
yeah, it's gonna take a minute for a few
Oh
of them to
goodness.
step back, unfortunately.
Okay. Well,
Unfortunately.
this is my struggle, you know.
It is your struggle. See, I'm a Sagittarius, so after a while, if I'll just lose interest in a person.
But losing interest as somebody that you would pursue versus losing interest in them as a human. Like if you lose interest and like you don't think they fine no more, or you just don't want to pursue them anymore, how like you
No,
still gonna be their friend? Or
I
you, when
was
you say lose
I
interest, you mean in them as a person?
no, no, no. I can lose interest in you in that manner and literally still be a friend.
Okay.
I have the ability. This is just me because of what I do and because of how many people I meet on a daily basis and the kind of jobs I've had over the course of the last 15 years. I interact with people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I can separate flirtatious natures and stuff like that from the individual itself. I can even take someone who I'm dating, and even in the midst of us dating and being who we are, separate the person I'm dating from the person I'm a friend with. Because sometimes there's conversations that you need to have with someone who you can trust, who knows how to have that conversation without having to insert you into it.
Yeah.
Like if you're having a bad day and it's because of a previous situation with an ex, I know how to not let the fact that this niggas is still around be a problem. I know how to be like, okay, what happened? What's going on? Is this in regards to this situation over here? Did you talk about this? Did we do this? Well, at that moment, I'm your friend. And then once we work through that, we cipher through that, and that's cleared in your head, and that's no longer taking space. Now we can go back to, okay, babe, what do you need? What's going on? How's your regular self? Let's go do this. Let's go here. I sent you this. That changes now.
Okay.
So I can disassociate the two. And then believe me, it took years to get that way.
I feel like that skill that you have to be able to separate. So if a woman comes up to you and she's very sexy and she's flirty and she's like just being in her natural feminine aura,
Right.
and you want to be her friend, I feel, or you are allowing yourself to be her friend,
Right.
I feel like that means that you have self-control. I feel like it means that you have standards and boundaries where if I see a sexy woman, that don't mean I have to pounce. I can just kind of sit back and I can figure out if she like me over time.
Right.
It doesn't have to be like this quick, oh, look at that, I'm gonna go,
Right.
get at that.
I'm I'm an individual who had to learn how to give compliments without intent. That is a skill that has to be learned.
Hey, break that down.
Okay. To give compliments without intent, meaning I can compliment you, how you look, how you move, how you act, what you just did, and be dead after that. It doesn't have to lead to anything. It doesn't lead to anything.
Yeah.
If you come in, I'm like, you looking good in that outfit. That shit fire. You wearing that.
And that's it.
And that's it.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so much for that compliment. I appreciate you. That's not flirting either. I appreciate you so much for
and
saying
sometimes
that.
It can be. Sometimes it can lead. It's like, okay, I see you over there looking good in that whole night. And depending on who it is, and if we are at that friendly level, I have had situations where I said, you looking good today. We wasn't friends. I would shoot my shot at you. And that's because the kind of friendship I have, we
Even
can
that,
joke like that.
exactly. Even that is not. I'm not. Well, if you said that to me, I wouldn't perceive it as, oh, he trying to
Yeah.
holler or he doing extra. I would just feel like that's another part of the compliment.
Right.
Thank
It's
you.
like, and that's just how
Thank you.
I am.
I
But
understand that you're a man. You have,
but at the and I think that's a different thing. A lot of men, a lot of people, because sexuality is a spectrum, so it could be anything. A lot of people do not know how to uh, be able to just admire somebody. My brother, being who he is one of the realest things he has ever said, and I hold on to it. It's like there are some women that are meant to be pursued, and then there are some women who are meant to be treated like a statue in the museum. You look at it, you admire it, you talk about it, and then you go to the next painting.
Ooh-wee. How did y'all come up with that? I love the thought of that. I don't know.
Okay,
It sounds
so
right.
it came from the fact that we did a series on our show called the What Is Love Tour. Okay,
I think I remember that.
and
That's before I left.
yeah, the What Is Love Tour. We just got done doing the second tour not too long ago. Yeah. And during the What Is Love Tour, there's a young lady who actually was a part of both tours, who came on, and my brother crazy about her. Okay, loves her to death. Like she is like the most beautifulest thing to him in the world. And I was like, why don't you go shoot your shot?
Can I ask you a question?
What up?
He knows her. Does she know him?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
So she knows him, but there's not the level of friendship with me and her is greater than the level of friendship with him and her.
Right.
So he only knows her as like on the introductory level.
Okay.
Whereas I know her on the personal level.
And so she only knows him based on her, how you doing?
Yep.
So she don't know that he feel this way about her. Okay.
No.
That's
fun. I apologize. By the second tour, she did.
Okay.
Because we are open and honest on our pods. Mm-hmm. So he said something.
Okay.
Okay. He said something. Because I kind of low key, I was fucking with him, but then he actually said it.
Dang.
And then this is when he made that statement on the show about some people are just meant to be art in a museum. And it was funny. And now that you bring that up, now I think back to that episode, it was actually pretty interesting because once he got that out there and just stated that you are art in a museum to me, one, she got way more relaxed. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
She did. Now, she's already a cool, relaxing person anyway. So it was just, but at that moment, she definitely got way more relaxed. She got way more honest. She got way more expressive. She literally did the pod, and it was a great episode. And it was one of the ones I can always go back. And the crazy part about it is that's still who she is even today. I had to get on her today about something she did. But it was just interesting that after my brother said it, he got it out his chest. He got it out his system. Mm-hmm. It was cool.
Yeah.
We don't have to, as men, we don't have to pursue everything that looks good because the outer shell could be candy coated deliciousness. And you get to the center, it's raspberry. Mm-hmm. Nobody want that. Nobody want chocolate covered raspberries.
Nobody want that.
Nobody want chocolate covered raspberries. But so I got some questions. Okay. Lately, I've been getting on my team as a whole and making everybody do homework and putting structure and putting things behind it. So can't be a leader if I don't do the work myself. Period. All right. So one of the questions, how do you communicate your desires for a platonic relationship? So I know you just got done saying that when the guy comes to you and he's shooting a shot and you be like, no, I just want to only be friends. How do you actually let the person know, even in the beginning, that this is a friendship. This is only a friendship. This is all I want from this is just a friendship.
Yeah, I don't have much practice. I don't have much practice with getting guys to be my friend. I feel like my personality type is very flirtatious. It's very girly. It's very, like, a little bubbly, just a little bit, especially around men that I like. You know what I mean? Like I'm just a cute little something. So I'm not good at saying, oh, I just want to be friends. But once I feel like he is coming for me, and I'm not interested, what do I say? What do I do? I don't know.
Let me ask you a question.
That's a good question right there.
No, no, let me, and this makes me want to spin off of that. Let me ask you a question. When you meet the guy, because like you said, you're fun, you're bubbly, you're flirtatious, you're this great ball of energy that just can light up a room. Do you go into that conversation with that young man with the intentions of trying to pursue him, or giving him at least a signal that pursuit is possible, and then you realize like, oh, we can't be nothing more than friends? Or do you go into it with the mindset of being friends first and let it grow to something else instead?
Naturally, when men come up to me, they're trying to pursue me. So I don't really think I don't really think to say up front I only want friendship unless I'm absolutely not attracted to this person.
Okay.
I think that I do flirt. I think that I do invite conversation. I invite flirting.
Okay.
But then when I realize that maybe it's getting sexual before I'm ready, maybe it's getting like the conversation, maybe um something that they did is like, I wouldn't even, or I don't know, something comes up. I feel like
Have
we're
you
not on the same page. I
have
wouldn't.
you ever tried to just start as friends? Like throw everything that you normally do out the windows and work on only building a friendship. So every
Yes.
single time it feels like it's gonna grow to more, do you be like, we're just friends? Like,
Um,
we only need to do this as friends. Or, oh, are we going, this is a friends date? Oh, can we take the romance out of it? And can it just be a fun date? Does it have to be a friends date? Like, have you tried that?
so I think that the men that I usually typically like don't go for or not interested in, not that I'm not interested, but don't, I guess you can say pursue. I don't pursue anyway, but I'm able to go up to them. I'm able to start a conversation, or hey, how you doing? Like it's me initiating. Those are the men that I'm not normally interested in. I'm I'm more so waiting for someone to approach me, and that's how I know that it's not friendship. It's not gonna head toward friendship because you're coming to me. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying,
Like
but
you're
but you
pursuing.
do know you can put the brakes on that even when it's the pursuit.
Yeah,
Like,
I do that. I
like
do that. But when it comes to like finding a friend or like initially being friends, it would be me
so
like
what it
feeling
sounds
comfortable and confident to walk up to him.
okay, so it sounds like if you are interested in them, you can't be friends in the beginning.
If they come up to me and I like them and it goes somewhere, then I probably wouldn't want. I don't think I would be able to keep it at friends because there's an attraction there. Like I might like you.
No,
I
no,
might like you more. So let's,
and I'm
you know.
asking, the reason why I'm asking this question. Number one, I'm currently I got introduced to a situation like that where they want to be friends first. And everything was done as friends. Like every move, everything, every concept, everything about it. And I tell you, it was frustrating as hell in the beginning because I'm a natural lover boy. I'm a romantic. I like to do all these little cutesy things and stuff like that. But because she kept putting the brake on it and making it we're just friends, it did make me question it until she started validating that even though we're only friends, these things are being seen, these things are being admired, these things are being noticed. So it made me have to reshuffle my whole mindset
Yeah.
of how do I move in this space. But I'm kind of glad it did happen like that because it made me value the friendship first
Yeah.
and the romance second. Because a lot of relationships that last is because they're their friends. You don't have to be my best friend, but you still have to be my friend. And then when you're friends, we tend to care a little bit more. We tend to care more about our friends that we've had because we built the bond, we built the trust, we built a connection. A friendship connection is way different than than a romantic relationship or a romantic connection because something can easily break that romantic connection because you can fall out of lust for an individual.
Hmm.
but you can't fall out of love for an individual unless they force it. And usually with your friends, you're a lot more lenient about those things that would make you fall out of love with them. So
Mm-hmm.
you're not so quick to want to just walk away. Because right now with relationships, people will want to walk away from it
Yeah.
quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you do anything that reminds me of what my
Blocked.
ex did, I'm
You
done
blocked.
with you.
You
But
blocked.
when you're my friend, we're like, unless you done some backstabbing stuff, a lot of stuff we'll just chalk it up as an L. Like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's just what it is. You make me mad, or you made me upset, or you make me annoyed. I'm annoyed with you right now, but this not gonna change our friendship though. I'm
Yeah.
just annoyed with you at this moment.
Yeah.
Whereas in there's people out here where we go together and I'm annoyed with you. Well, I'm just gonna call this other guy instead, or I'm gonna call this other girl instead.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that's not good. So why don't the ones that you are interested in put that block on there for like let's just be friends? Because it sounds more like a self check for you just as well as building a friendship with them.
There's a certain amount of things that you can do with the opposite sex
Okay.
where it won't feel like it's date or it's flirting. um we can be having a conversation, and since we're being friends, we're open and honest. We tell each other stuff, we ask questions, we're just we're open. And I feel like that conversation, I'm sorry, you distracted me
How am I distracting you?
because I can't see your eyeballs. That conversation,
I had it was an important conversation. I talked to you about
I
it.
know, and I get to be in mine, but I promise you, I'll be losing track.
No, it's only because it's about the next show. That's all.
Um, what was I saying?
For once, you got
What
me.
you asked me?
I asked you about why won't you try the being friends, even though you're attracted to that
Oh yeah,
person.
that's what I was saying. It's the actions that come. Like
Okay.
there's a certain amount of things that you can do before it becomes too much. Like mostly with women, it's like anything sexual. If it's too much sexually, then it's like nah, I'm good because you're doing too much. You know.
But that
So
don't mean you still can't rein it in, even if you're attracted to them. Like, yes, you got itches that need to be scratched.
rein it in. Like, what do you mean?
Like you don't all you could say not tonight, not this,
Are you
not
talking
that.
about sex?
Just in
Are you?
general.
Well, what would
Because
qualify as
because my
no?
whole
You
thing
gotta rein it. You gotta stop that. Like, what are the things that you're talking about that you know?
okay. So if you're just trying to be a friend,
Hmm.
right? You can say no to romantic situations that you can be in.
Like,
If, like if
like
y'all going on dates, it don't have to be romantic like dates. It could be
right.
fun dates. It can
Hmm.
be adventure stuff. It could be playful things. It could be sporting events. It could be things that don't require y'all to have to be in this intimate setting.
Well, if I'm being politically correct, when we go on dates, it's the man usually plans the date. So if it's a romantic date, it's because that's what you picked. If we go to Disney World, that's because that's what you picked. If
But you
we
can
go to the
also
arcade,
but you can also say, hey, let's go do something on Friday. And you can be like, are we going as friends?
I mean, yeah,
You can
you
set the
can definitely
tone.
be the one who invites the person out or to hang out or whatever. But you're talking about romantic, and then usually when it's romantic, it's planned by the guy.
You can still set the tone even on planned dates. Because if I say, hey, what are you doing Friday at 8 o'clock? You can easily be like, oh, I'm not doing nothing. Why? What's up? I said, well, let's go out and do something. You can easily say, as friends, that's setting the tone of if we're going as friends, I'm down for it. If you were trying to go as more than that, this is where you have the option of saying yay or nay, and it's not rude. You just don't want to go in that direction. I just want to be friends. That's how
That's
you can
definitely
control the narrative.
one way to do it. That's not natural for me to be like, answer the call and be like, if they say, we finna go hang out, and I'm like, are we going to hang out as friends? I don't usually respond that way. I just let it be what it's gonna be until it's not. You work your boundaries
No,
when
I get it. No,
you
you
know what I'm
can.
saying. Like you don't have to always put your boundary up front and say, no, I don't want to do this. No, I'm good on that. Like you can, but sometimes it don't warrant it. Sometimes it don't. It's not necessary. A man that was really trying to be your friend would probably be like, I wasn't even thinking about that, but okay.
But sometimes
And it
you
would
need.
be a more offensive to be like, are we only going as friends because
But
than to just let it happen. Let us go hang out, and then when something crosses the line, okay, we good. We just friends.
but here's the thing: if you accept, or let's say you don't put those boundaries in place when they need in the beginning, sometimes now he has this thought process that, remember, you're a chocolate unicorn here now. So just hanging out with you, being able to create these intimate moments, it doesn't have to be sexual. Intimate moments could just be those small little personal moments that are just you and him. This is where those feelings start to grow. And here you are thinking, oh, we're just friends. Because remember, you don't see him as being more than friends. Doesn't mean that he doesn't see you as being more than friends. So now there's this lead on that has happened from you guys having these moments and things together, to the point where now if I can't have you, then we can't be friends. Whereas in those boundaries or walls could have kind of been presented earlier, because yes, you want things to happen naturally, but at the same time, you want him to understand that in this moment, that's not where we are.
I think it's an interesting perspective, but that's not how it always works. So
have you tried it that way before?
In the same light where I could be like, no, I just want to be friends, like up front or whenever, you could also state your intentions and say, I want to take you out and let's go somewhere romantic. I like you. I want to get to know you. I'm trying to make you my woman.
I want you.
As opposed to making me say, no, I'm good. I wouldn't do it like that.
Okay, and
I would
get
just
that.
wait. I would just, let's go hang out. Yep, let's talk. Let's get to know each other, because that's how friendships start.
That's how friendships
just
grow,
like
regardless.
That's how relationships start. You have to get to know them, and that's your initial way to do that.
Right. That's how relationships grow, no matter what. And I'm not disagreeing with you in regards to that. Like you said, these are two different perspectives and two different ways things go. But I will say, I can see how you end up in a lot of the situations you end up in too.
I can too.
Okay.
But it's not socially, it's not on me. This is a joint effort.
It is a joint effort.
And if you come up to me, because it's likely that when I'm out in public and a man and me start talking, it's because he walked up to me. I'm not just walking up to random niggas. Like, that's not happening. So when you walk up to me,
have you ever walked up to a dude and said, I like you, I want you?
Never. Never. And I won't. I won't. Yeah, that's not in my personality. But yeah, it's usually the man who is like coming forward with what he wants. And it's usually that he wants to date me or take me out or talk to me at some capacity other than friendship.
Okay.
And it's only then that I'm able to say, no, I'm good. I got a man, or I'm not dating. That's my favorite line. I'm not dating. That don't matter though. It really don't matter.
Some care, most don't. Some do care, most don't. Because it all depends on when they ask you a question of, well, why are you not dating right now? What you say next usually is what determines whether or not they believe you or not.
Yeah.
But that does go into to my next one. What are some of the signs that you've seen, or what are some of the subtle things that you do, I should say, more than anything, that when you see that male friend getting ready to try to cross those lines, like, look, nigga, you belong in the friend zone, stop coming over here. What are some of the things that you've seen that they have tried?
They'll give me a hug and it'll be longer and more tight.
Maybe they need a hug.
They might rub their hand across my back. They might, try to smell my neck and get all up in there. They might.
Okay, to smell your neck, they really went in because you are short.
Exactly.
So you got to really get down.
You got to make effort to do that.
You a wild boy if you doing that.
You a wild boy. So yeah, hugging, some men have audacity, especially the ones who I've known maybe from high school. And it's like, I know you. They might try to grab my ass.
That's wild.
It is.
And they've never done that before? Like, okay.
Nope.
Niggas is creeps for that. Because how you just gonna grab cheek and you've never got the impression that cheek grabbing is acceptable?
It's okay. Like, I don't know who ass you grabbing, but this one ain't the ass.
That's nasty work. And it's crazy because you're not the first woman I've heard say that recently. There's been a few other women who Do not give any kind of energy that this is an okay thing to do. That have said that men they have gone on date with, like literally first date, not even halfway through it, cheek grabbing, nasty work,
It's the audacity.
nasty work, man. Y'all got to chill out. You know what I'm saying? Y'all doing entirely too much. So let's say you in a relationship and Bay has a female friend. Yay or nay with you?
Um,
And I'm not just talking any female friend. Like she actually has been around since before you got there. How comfortable are you with that kind of situation?
um, I think that his friend should continue being his friend.
Okay.
And I think that over time, I'll learn the dynamics of that relationship and I'll be able to determine if I'm comfortable with it or not.
Okay. Have you ever ended a relationship because the female friend was doing too much?
No.
Have you ever asked the female friend to be removed out the scenario?
Yes.
Why?
Because I felt uncomfortable with the response, the level of uncomfort that he had when she was brought up. So if I'm like, where your friend? Like, you know, now you weird.
Maybe they had
You
a
weird
falling
about
out
it?
and they just ain't talking right now. No, I'm dead ass.
Maybe,
Maybe they
maybe,
have a little
but
fallout and they not. That goes back.
if you are uncomfortable with having her around me, talking to her while I'm around you, and this is your friend, you should be able to talk to her about anything.
This
You
is
should
why.
be able to have her in any space because first of all, she came before me. Second of all, that's your friend, right?
All right.
Not only that, if we're together and I have a male friend and everything that you're doing with her, you don't want me to do with him, then that's not your friend.
I
And
get
I'm not gonna stop you. Go
now.
ahead, have
Hold
your
on.
friend, but just have
Now,
that same energy when
all
I
right.
have a friend.
Now that's a dirty double standard. But let's take you for an example. Okay. You literally just said that it is almost nearly impossible for you to have a male friend because eventually every last male friend tries to shoot their shot at you,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have actually decided to date a guy and you and this guy are settled down, this guy knows men be shooting their shot at you. So he is not trusting him. It's not that he don't trust you. It's not saying that him and his friend is more than just friends. He don't trust that nigga, which is why he don't want you to be doing anything platonic, friends, whatever, with that nigga because he don't trust that nigga. Okay,
I totally understand that. As
that's why I
long
said it's a
as
dirty. It's a dirty double standard
it's not, because what's
because,
gonna happen is when you tell me you don't trust him, have that same energy. I don't trust her. So
but
we both not gonna have friends, or we both gonna have friends. But you, this ain't gonna be no double standard.
secondly, sometimes, and I've experienced this myself. Sometimes the female friend is being overprotective of her male friend to the point where you have to kind of earn her trust as the girlfriend because you got to remember she was there before, so she seen.
Listen.
No, hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. So because of that, they tend to kind of have difficulties accepting you in the beginning. But then y'all, as the girlfriends, be like, this bitch got to go. She's just being protective of her friend because she know what he went through.
Okay.
And we don't know enough about you in these type of situations because he's working hard to not put you in these particular situations of what he dealt with before. So there tends to be a little bit of animosity. And a lot of times those girlfriends, they just want the girl gone. And that makes her not even like you even more because like I'm trying to protect my friend. Now you're trying to take my friend from me. We gonna fight.
I don't know how you just got all the way over there, but I'm still over here at the part where we don't know you yet. Like, what do you mean? If you bring me into a situation as your girlfriend or your woman, then Tone, oh my God, I can't.
I was you wanted to. It was my brother actually saying that we may have to cancel the
If
second
he
show.
brings me into a situation where his friend is there, it's not about we need to get to know you.
Okay.
This is not it's not you. You're the friend, just like his other nigga friends. They not over there grilling me, so you shouldn't either.
They actually are. You just not realizing it.
Well, maybe she could be a little bit more smooth because it's not up to her. Well, I guess I don't know how the relationship is, but it shouldn't be up to her to determine if I should be accepted or not. Me and him should already have that figured out. We talking.
Right.
This is our relationship, not her for her approval. It's not how that
Okay.
works.
Now,
I would never want her to have to be good, like get out of here. You can't be his friend unless it was some type of disrespect or boundaries that were being crossed, or you can still be his friend, but you got to know your place.
I bring that up because I personally haven't gone through it, but I have had situations that I've seen my friends and even my sisters go through where they're dating a guy, and because of the previous relationship and the way the woman he chose before was, the friend is more than a friend. She's literally his family in some cases. Because, we pick and choose our own family this day and age. Even though we may be born with certain siblings, but at the end of the day, today's society, people pick and choose who they call family. Big Mama don't hold it together like they used to. And sometimes those friends are more family than their friends. So usually sometimes those friends, their opinions of how they feel about people can hold very, very strong weight. And I've seen situations where the friend doesn't like a girl because she exhibits certain behaviors that's not healthy for him because she knows his type.
That's none of her business. If it's unhealthy for him, then he shouldn't be dating her. It shouldn't take the friend to recognize a girlfriend's unhealthy behavior that's not good for him.
If you have a bad habit of picking certain people,
If it's a bad habit, then he wouldn't keep doing it. It's nobody's responsibility except him to figure out who he is and what he attracts. And if he keep attracting the same thing, it says more about him than it does about the woman.
and that's probably why she's saying what she's saying.
But that's not her job. Maybe before, when maybe he in between girlfriends, or maybe she, is alone with him having conversations about his personal health or his mental health or whatever the trigger is, but not like out loud where the girlfriend is like, well, you just gonna trigger him.
You'd be surprised. Some
It's
people
not
like
her
that.
job to do that.
Okay.
It's kind of rude.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
I could be like, well, you're not a good friend for him. But that wouldn't be good because he's a grown person and he can pick his own friends.
True. But sometimes these different worlds clash. We said it before. Sometimes you can't mix your friend groups, and sometimes that also includes your relationships.
Yeah.
Not that the one group of friends is better than another group of friends. It's just you can't mix them sometimes.
But we talking about mixing friends or
Same thing.
A date that he got.
Same difference. It's the same difference.
So he
Because, like, for an example, I take a prime example. One of my guys dates a young woman. Perfect woman for him. We can't stand her.
How do that work?
We can't stand her. She exhibits certain behaviors that annoy the hell out of us. But she brings peace to him. So we still love our guy. We'll still hang out with him. But sometimes those group settings will require a few of us to be like, nah, I ain't coming this time.
That makes sense.
That's what I'm saying.
That makes sense. Let them be.
And we let him know, like, bro, we love you, but your bae annoying as fuck. And that's what we do as guys. We tell each other.
So do he feel? What if he want to marry her, and he
We'll
wants y'all to?
We'll be at the wedding. We still gonna be at the wedding. All we saying is she annoys us. There's certain scenarios and situations that we know if she gets into, she's going to annoy us.
So essentially, she's just not invited to the barbecue. Because it's a time where y'all gonna hang out.
There's gonna be time.
It's just gonna be that she can't come.
We would tolerate her to a certain extent.
Okay.
That's what we'll say. We don't want her to be excluded because eventually, maybe, bro, tell her like, "Hey, we don't take you nowhere because you be doing too much at this moment. We allow growth." Okay. He may tell her that. He may not tell her. He may tell us like, "Bro, y'all tripping. Y'all just got to get to know her better." It's like, okay. And as time goes on, if this is somebody if this is your forever bae, we gonna learn to tolerate each other. Let's take Martin and Pam. They got on each other's nerves on the show, but they learned to tolerate each other in the aspect of the show.
They did.
In the aspect of the show. You can tell you how you know they tolerate each other? Because if Pam didn't know how to tolerate them, they wouldn't all still be hanging out. Pam could have easily be like, "You my girl, but if you going out with him, I'm not coming."
You see, for the sake of the show, I get what you mean by that, because that wouldn't even be possible. Otherwise, she wouldn't be on the show. So,
but we just the show wise, but in real, but I only use that as an example because most people recognize that dynamic as being annoyed with each other. But some people don't want to be that person that just sits there and all you do is bicker back and forth because that's just the mood y'all two in. And it could be deeply rooted. It could be more than just that. He may actually be attracted to her and she attracted to him. And they just annoyed as hell at each other because of it. It could be that. Yeah. But in these type of scenarios, you do have to kind of be mindful of that's my guy's girl. So she's part of the group. But until we can find a common ground, there may be some events that I won't be at, or there may be some events that she got to stay home at, you know, because apparently we got this unresolved issue that we don't know why we can't stand each other. Yeah. Now, when it's the whole group that can't stand her, now we get like, "Hey, bro, what do you like about her?"
Yeah. I don't think I've ever been the girlfriend either. Well, yes, I have.
The annoying girlfriend, or the one that the guys don't like you?
I would never think I'm annoying, but you know, to each his own.
Yeah, different people get annoyed for different reasons.
But not that it was ever said. You know, it's just like different behaviors that you can tell people people don't like you.
Okay. So how do you handle those situations when you knew you came into an environment where you were not liked, but you were there with someone else?
I just got to be myself.
Okay.
Be myself and do all the things that I would do, say what I would say. And then if it still got to the point where it was like, y'all negative, y'all like on purpose trying to show me that y'all don't like me, then I'm gonna be leaving.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna head on out.
So what does a healthy friendship look like to you then?
I feel like it's the same as a relationship minus the sex. Communication is healthy and open and honest. We might hang out sometimes.
Okay.
Like hang out, like go to events. Like, for example, in Dallas, I'm about to start running with this group. It's called Run It Up Dallas.
Look at Dallas Desi out here.
Dallas, and I'm finna join the running group. You know,
okay.
So come with me. You know, like we can hang out like that.
Okay. But does it always have to be public activities when you're creating new friend groups?
I feel like at
you know
first,
what? Let me take that back. Because I know for a fact we've been friends since literally a week or two before you moved to Dallas.
Mm-hmm. So that's like 8 months.
Right. So our friendship journey has been unique, but I have been noticing your growth in Dallas. Because you went to somebody's game night when you were down there.
Did I?
Yeah, you went to a little social event down there, and I was watching you enjoy. You posted on Instagram like you was enjoying your life.
See, now I gotta go and look back.
Yeah, you gotta see. 8 months is not that long ago for you to forgot about it.
No, I feel like maybe I've been doing.
You've been stepping out because I know when you first got down there, you were very closed and reserved. Mm-hmm. So now I tend to see you do things like the running group. You know, that's a big like you running with people. Like we outside running.
And
hey.
you know, I just don't know people. And you know, as I'm starting to like build community, I'm getting to know people, going places, it becomes a little easier.
And that's what I was getting at with this. I took the long way for somebody. I took the scenic route. With you now being a brand new city with brand new people and literally have to basically introduce yourself like a second grader who transfers schools. How are you cultivating these healthy relationships down there? Like, how are you even getting into the realm? Because you can't just wait for everybody just to walk up to you and was like, "Hi, you want to come play kickball with us?" Like, you gotta, like, how are you cultivating friendships?
Th- I ain't gonna lie. I don't have I don't have many women who I could be friends with. I feel like
Mm,
at this point, the women that you have in your life are mostly from that you've known for a long time.
okay,
Meeting women is a little harder. I feel like women visibly are more closed off, are more focused, are less likely to walk up to another woman and say, "Hey, how are you?"
interesting.
Yeah.
The only reason why I
Not
say that's
maybe it's
interesting.
just this is just my experience, you
Okay,
know. I don't know what it's like in Milwaukee no
you,
more.
oh, like you ain't been gone long enough to not know.
I don't know what it's like here, but no.
Don't be that person. Don't be that person.
Don't be her.
But no, I asked that question is because I think it's fascinating that women are like you're saying that you're experiencing that because what I've seen it is a little bit differently. I feel like women are more likely to come together and cultivate something in the name of sisterhood, which builds these bonds that y'all have way quicker than men do. But I do feel like random men can come together and we can be like, sup, sup. You want to go get a beer? All right, bro, let's go. And we can just have basic, regular conversations. Whereas in even though y'all would do whole events and whole plannings and just come together. Shout out to Ashley who just threw groups of women together who never would be in the same walk of life and made it damn near an annual thing and it gets bigger and bigger every time and I see women can just naturally come together and y'all could just naturally be friends just because y'all black sisters.
Yeah.
Whereas but that's why I say for you to say it's harder for you to get women friends like
I think maybe it's just me. I'm not saying like for an event I wouldn't go because the purpose is to support. The purpose is to love on sisterhood. The purpose is for that. But I think when it's random, like when there is no purpose at a bar or just outside, it's not as welcoming.
and I find that weird. I
Maybe
do.
it's just my own, thing. I am kind of introverted a little bit
Okay, I'll
when it
give you
comes
that.
to like being social. I'm more like I get nervous easy. I'm
Have you
used to
ever
like,
have you ever tried the compliment with no intent?
oh yeah, I compliment women all the
I was like,
time.
girl, you look good.
That's not the same though.
But that's
That's
sometimes
what you're saying about men. Y'all can come into a room and be like, "What up, bro?" and never have met before, and then all of a sudden y'all best friends. I don't experience that as a woman.
okay.
Me personally, I don't experience that. I experience, hey, wow, your hair is really beautiful. Thank you, and that's it.
Is that because you're not moving the conversation along then?
Probably, but that don't happen all the time.
But I'm just saying, in general, it seems like if you want friends, it sounds like the friends have been opportunities have been presented, and you're just not realizing it's an
Yeah,
opportunity.
it's an opportunity, maybe.
Because I would say if a woman would be like, "Hey, your hair is nice," oh, thank you, girl. Because I've seen women it's like,
And
"Girl,
what
your
would you
out
say after that?
right." Like I've seen girls like, "Your outfit cute, girl. This thing $7 at such and such store. This is where I get." And next thing you know, it you done ran to a whole conversation, and you start. And I got it from here, but I'm really looking for something like this. And then she'll tell you where to get this
Mm-hmm.
from. And now y'all done got to talking and got to kikiing, and you tell a smaller like, "Well, I just recently moved here from Milwaukee about like a 8 months ago, and I'm just trying to get used
You
to that."
sound like you've been.
And the crazy part is this is all just coming off the dome. I'm not even saying I've been in this type of position before. Then again, I'm also a semi-social butterfly. Like I'm a cute butterfly that'll sit on the flower while all the other butterflies are on the flower over there. Then I'll be like, "Ooh, I like that flower." Then I go in there over there by that flower. Then I talk to everybody else. But that's just me.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
not. It's not that hard
You
to
can't.
initiate. But I also understand your reserve.
I'm not. It's. I guess it depends on the moment. It depends on the environment. It depends on what the purpose is, or how I feel that day.
Right.
It really depends. I'm not saying that I never start conversations or like never continue or ask where you work, what you do for business. I Not that I never do that. It's just I experience that it doesn't happen as often
Okay. I'm not saying it
as
doesn't.
just a quick, hey, how you doing? You look so pretty. Thank you. Have a good day. Like That be the end of it. But with me living in Dallas, I really am going to become more social. It's not easy because I'm not familiar with anything, anywhere, anybody. So
I feel like that's the best time to do it then, because everything is a new experience to you. Even if you're just going to the bar 2 blocks down from your house, it's a new experience. You don't know nothing about it. There's no old stories of what used to be there that you can think of. There's not a person who used to go here all the time that doesn't go here anymore because of whatever personal reason. It's all a brand new experience. It's one of the things I always tell people: when you're in your early 20s, if you get the opportunity to live in another city, even if it's for a few months, do it, because it makes you look at the world completely different, because you are an adult with a naked mind at that moment. So everything's a brand new experience. You could try something new. You can be different. You could expand outside of what your friend circles used to do. You can make new friends. I have friends all over the country. And if you found out the different type of friends I have and find out how we became friends, you'd be like, Tone, I don't know shit about you.
yeah.
Just because I have a goth friend in Seattle who is like the dopest person, and they are always leathered out, spiky hair, slug earring, holes bigger than the actual ear. And this is my people's. Like, we could sit here and jam out to Evanescence and just look at flowers all day, and it's cool. I'm great. Meanwhile, then I got over here in Virginia, I got a ex prostitute friend who's trying to live a clean life and get a college degree, and I'm still look at them just like regular people. You go out, you make new friends, you make new stories. I think I'm probably a little bit more easier to do it than you, because my business is talking. So I naturally want to hear somebody's story. So, and a lot of times, some people just want to tell their story. So if I sat down and I say, yo, them some nice boots, where you get them boots from? Oh, man, I got these boots when I was on this trip last week. Oh, where'd you go? Why were you there? Like, it's a natural thing for me to make the story keep going. And then the simple fact that we had this small little brief conversation that took up 25 minutes of our lives would make them be like, yo, what are you doing this weekend? We got a concert going on down at the bar. You want to come? Sure. I'm not doing nothing. And next thing you know it, I found the new circle.
That's amazing.
Doesn't work for everybody. You as a woman.
Not.
Also, you know what? I got to be realistic here. As a woman, you also can't just do that. It's not safe for y'all. Okay? Goodness. Like, that's what I say, we got to be realistic. It's also not safe for y'all. Y'all can literally, and this is one of my biggest fears about you in Dallas, which is also why our friendship grew, because I also need to make sure you're in safe spaces, even in new places. You don't know how a person is. Okay. We talk so much about the facade that people's put out here. There's a lot of masks that people wear, and then you get to find somebody and you come to find out they are
weird.
I'm not even going to use the word weird anymore. I'm just going to go to the extreme: sick, twisted fucks. Okay. Because we call people weird, and they just different than you are. People call people weird right now because they listen to Creed in 2024. That's not weird. They just like what they like. Stop being that person. But there are some actual weird people.
Yes. In this case, I'm talking about weirdos.
There are some actual weird people who everything's just not upstairs. And you got to be careful with them people. I watched Sister on BET. And Gary's a weird dude. I don't like him. I've never liked him.
I feel bad now because I don't watch that show.
Please don't.
Don't
get into it. It's a rabbit hole.
Is it?
It's a rabbit hole. It's a bad show.
I have been watching Bridgerton.
No, see, that's different. I can fuck with Bridgerton.
Yeah, I've been watching Bridgerton.
First season of Bridgerton was my shit. Queen Charlotte was definitely my shit. I fucking love. Matter of fact, Queen Charlotte is the reason why I still watch it, because the way she be just so unimpressed with shit. She just be so unimpressed with shit. It's like, I'm just doing this to be doing this. But no, it's the thing about him is he definitely gave the facade of this great guy, that he locked in the main character to the point where she was ready to like go all in on him, and only to find out, like, as an onion peeling more and more layers. There was more and more just like, bro, you get weirder and weirder every season. And it's like, at this point in time, somebody need to unalive this character.
Oh,
So for some of the
not
things sometimes
he was that weird. Okay.
it's, without telling the show, yes. And
Yeah.
unfortunately,
It sounds like the process of a woman trying to figure out if this man is right for her.
exactly. But when they're exhibiting all the wrong things, and then when you tell them, nah, my guy, and then they just won't accept the nah.
That's the weirdo.
That's the weirdo. And that's one of my biggest fears with you being down there in the circumstances that you're in. Because you're by yourself, just you and your baby. Um, and you're building friends.
Yeah.
So you
I
gotta
think that's the most um safety concern type
Yeah.
of thing. Building friends part.
because
Because I'm not alone.
no.
I'm not completely alone.
You're
I
not.
have
I would.
family.
You have family. I need to stop
But
saying that for
yeah.
people listen to the show and start looking for you in Dallas like she by herself.
Where is she?
There's definitely a 45 toting family member that would definitely remove you off the plane of
Oh, and
existence.
gladly, okay.
Okay. I might help them hide the body. So let's be honest here. But no, it's the building of friends, because you have to build a circle of trust. You have to feel safe with them. You have to be like-minded. You have to, because you don't know their past, and you can only go off of their behaviors, and then you also have to factor in what other people say and try to be attentive but naive at the same time.
Okay.
So like, you can tell me she used to be ABCD, but it's supposed, you kind of like, but that's the used to. So I'm not going to worry about that because she ain't showed that to me right now. But at the same time, you also have to keep it in your head, but she could. So it's like, I got to trust you, but I also know you stabbed niggas in the back in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to have my knife on the side just in case. But
I feel like
but do you want to be that friend at that point then,
Yeah, you just have to have discernment, right? So, understanding who you are enough that when somebody shows you something and it's not comfortable or it's weird, then you know how to say, "Nah, I'm good on that," instead of continuing to move forward. I'm good on you because you're showing me that what I don't like, my boundaries. I can't speak for the next person, but as far as I go, that makes me uncomfortable, and you just got to say that.
Okay, that's what I was waiting for. All right, so let me ask you this question. Since you're building new friends, how long does it take you to trust an individual?
um, Trust in what sense?
Okay,
Well, let me say this first. Um, I trust you off top.
okay.
I assume that you're not crazy.
Okay.
I assume that you have the best interests for me.
Okay.
And in communicating with me, you're not going to harm me. You're not going to turn into psycho. Like I trust you. And then as we start to move forward,
Okay.
I get to make my decision based on what you're showing me.
All right. How long does it take for you to trust somebody enough to be vulnerable with them?
Vulnerable with what? Are you talking about, like what? Vulnerable with what?
Okay. Personal stuff about you. Your flaws, characteristics, your worries, things that you normally don't share. Because as men, there's a lot of men that have this fear of being vulnerable with women because women weaponize what they're being vulnerable with. Okay. If I told you I have issues with my mom, me and my mom had a rough growing up, a rough childhood. And because of that, I'm not always ready to be available to jump out the window to go help my mom at her beck and call. Okay. And we don't like to share those levels of weaknesses with some people because vulnerability gets weaponized. I sit here and tell you that me and my mom ain't on the same page. We don't like, I don't deal with her because she was abusive. And then during an argument, a woman brings it up, whether it's who you dating, your relationship, or even a friend because you're unhappy with a situation, or even worse, the friend turns your circumstances into a joking matter. Like I have friends and insults and jokes and playing the dozens, as we like to, or ribbon, depending on where you're from, are a natural thing for us. We could sit outside a parking lot and just rib each other all day, and that's cool. But they won't ever say anything they know is a personal thing for us. Some people don't know how to not cross those lines. So how long does it take for you to be able to share something that's very personal to you when creating new friend groups?
I'm pretty much an open book. If you create a space that feels safe for me, I
Mm-hmm.
will tell my whole life story.
Okay.
And I wouldn't think, oh, they might use this against me. I don't usually have those thoughts, even though I should, because people are weird. But I naturally am like ready to tell my story, ready to, talk about the hard things that I went through. Um, but it needs to feel like a safe environment. Like I gotta feel like you listening. I gotta feel like you care, you
Okay.
empathetic. I gotta feel like you got some good feedback to give me. Like if you negative, I'm not gonna do that. Um, I just gotta feel safe when
Okay.
I'm talking to you. And that's a stranger off the street.
I
I don't
bring that
feel
up.
I don't feel like I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I don't feel embarrassed often about my what I go through or
What you go
what
through.
my
Right.
flaws are.
Right.
Even down to my physical flaws. I say if you don't like it, don't look.
What physical flaws?
I have flaws, but we're not going to talk about them. They're personal. You just have it in your head what you don't like about yourself, and
Okay. I give
the
you
world,
that.
the world will never know.
I give you that. No, I give you that because I really be dealing with a lot of insecurities myself.
Mhm.
But if you see me in everyday life, you would never think that these particular insecurities really bother me.
Yeah.
But they do.
Mhm.
And they be what people not even thinking would bother me. But I get it. I get
Yeah.
that. I get that. I asked that question more so is because as I've started cultivating multiverses of friends, as I like to refer to them, because they're different groups of friends that are similar, but there's just a little bit different in each different aspect of them. I started noticing certain friend groups quicker. I'm sharing stuff with them.
Mhm.
Like I have a friend group who literally is who I turn to when I'm having some of my most broken moments.
Mhm.
And that would be the friend group who knows the least about me
Hmm.
compared to everybody else. And it's not that I think that they know less about me. It's just like main friend group, we talking 20 plus years. New vulnerable friend group, less than a year, you know?
Oh.
But it's not that I trust this group more than I trust the other group because I would do the same thing with them. It's just this space feels safer with this information.
Hmm.
And I don't mean that my 20 plus year friend group will weaponize it. I just feel like my 20 plus friend group has seen it happen. Like
Mhm.
they're the ones who can tell the story. So anything they tell me will feel biased.
Hmm.
Like you seen in the beginning, you seen when the first instance happened, you seen how I went from here to back up here. So your answer that you give me will be biased in regards to favoring to me. Whereas in this 1 year fin group is going to give me a more honest, realistic of who I am now answer, not who I was 20 years ago going through it.
That makes sense.
Okay.
I got a question.
Yeah, of course. I was waiting for you. You've been quiet.
Are you the type of friend who wants your friends to tell you how they perceive you? Or are you the type of friend who wants to just go with the flow of the friendship and just you deal with me how I am? I don't need to address nothing. Like if I said, okay, I'm gonna say something as your friend, and I don't want you to take it personal. Okay?
Go for
I'm
it.
gonna tell you now we're on air and this is for the record. But we could go back. So you talk a lot.
I do.
You talk a whole lot. And on one hand, it's beautiful because I can hear all your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
You know how wonderful it is to be inside your head. You got some good thoughts in there, but
Okay.
also like you can't say it all. Like you got to leave something in there,
Okay.
so we can have a conversation and not just you talking.
Okay.
That's out of love. I hope you feel it. I
No,
hope
no,
you
no,
feel
no.
the love.
So to answer your first question, It's a little bit A, a little
Okay,
bit
so
B.
not okay. Sorry, yeah, to answer the first question.
Okay, a little bit A, a little bit of B. Yes, we can't grow if we don't know where the flaws are. So telling me things that I do, I don't do, I don't like, helps me adjust properly. Okay. But at the same time, I'm also very go with the flow. I'm very, here we are. That's what it is. I'm a Sagittarius. I'm either gonna be the life of the party or I'm gonna be a wallflower. You're gonna get one or the other.
Mm.
You're never gonna get in between. Okay. As for me talking too much, hey, guess what? We're on a podcast. We're on my podcast. If I'm quiet on my show, this ain't my show.
This not this ain't just the podcast.
I know we talk, period.
This ain't just the podcast. It's just who you are.
It is.
It's just how you are.
But you wanna know where that came from?
Sure.
I was silenced most of my childhood.
Mm.
I was silenced most of my childhood. And then in my early adulthood, I never spoke. And what I mean I never spoke is I could be in a room full of everything and I'm the most brilliant mind in the room, but I let everybody else go first. So when it finally comes to me, most of the stuff y'all may have said already, even though I don't agree with nothing y'all said, I don't want to be a burden. I want to be a problem. I'm quiet. So when I finally learned to say, you know what, I got something to say,
Yeah.
I talk.
Period.
So yes, y'all need to understand it. It's a beautiful mind over here. Okay.
Well, I admitted that. I agree. It's a beautiful mind.
It's
okay?
a beautiful mind over
It's a
here, but
beautiful
y'all need
mind.
to hear it. Plus, everybody keeps, as I've gotten older, a lot of people have been telling me people need to hear your point of view of stuff
Mhm.
because I don't look at things from the same point of view. And a lot of times, my mansplaining needs to be done to men.
Mm.
Okay. So if there's a guy who can convey what women think, because I'm hearing it directly from women in a way that men can absorb it, people tell me, you got to talk.
Well, on the opposite side, I feel like I am practicing not talking. Like I have been now moving forward. I think it's time for me to speak up. But
Mm-hmm.
in the past 7 months, I mean, let's just say since I moved,
Okay.
I've been practicing since I've been divorcing. I've been,
Divorcing, that is a
yeah, since
wild
I've been,
concept.
I know, I'm sorry, but it's the process of
Right.
me transforming myself. So I've been not speaking. I've been learning how to be quiet. And even though I have a good thought in my head, even though I'm brilliant and what I have to say will um, cultivate and like make the conversation greater,
Right.
sometimes I just have to not. And it, it makes me, it makes me use my brain a little bit more. It helps me to understand other people. It's some good things that come from
I'm glad you said that.
it.
Because I have to admit, maybe over the course of the last 4 years, I had to learn that those moments when I'm quiet are great because I learn so much about other people.
Mm,
Because sometimes just being in the room and just being the observant one and not speaking makes it easier to control the narrative.
mm.
Because if I know how you think and where your POV is, I already know what I need to do to pivot it to make it in my favor if I want to be.
Wow. That's almost like manipulation a little.
Is
That's
it?
almost like,
Is it
oh, what you just
manipulation
say? It's
or
a
is
word. I didn't want to say manipulation. I wanted to say, ooh, is when you like sit back. It's like you playing chess.
everything is definitely playing chess? It
Okay.
is because think about it. Even in a
I'm gonna
relationship,
learn.
this is
Here
we here now.
we go. Here we go.
In dating, this is the biggest secret I try to tell every man when you're looking to court somebody for the first time. Not date them, but court them. Okay?
let's let's break
Different.
that down.
The difference?
Yeah.
Courting is intentional.
Okay.
Everything you're doing, you're intentional with this person.
Hmm.
You built a friendship with intentions. You are dating this person with intention. You are putting all the proper things in place to make this a healthy relationship.
Hmm.
You're not just trying to get the pussy or trying to make this be your one or trying to make her your baby mama. You are intentionally taking everything about this woman and you are elevating her while still including her into your life. That's the difference between courting and dating,
Okay.
which is why I always try to tell people dating is just having fun. Courting is you're putting forth the game plan.
Mm-hmm.
So when someone says that
Oh, we
they're
gotta
not,
come back to that. I need to
when
write that
someone
down.
says they're not ready for a relationship, we can date. But when you say you're ready for a relationship, I'm courting you. My intentions and my moves are very, very different.
Okay.
Okay. You can get a taste of what courting looks like with me because I still do those things if we're dating. But when it's courting, there's a strategic game plan here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you're gonna love it over here.
Of course.
All right.
That's what they all say.
Nah. What I have a beautiful mind. Okay. Just listen, remember that. No, the trick is listen. A lot of times women do actually tell you what they want, what they need, what they desire, and where they want to be. Okay. I can literally sit in a room and without even intentions of talking to a woman, I can know what's necessary to get that woman's attention.
Okay.
It is my superpower. Okay.
Are you talking about other than just saying her name or
Other than
like
just
getting
saying
her
her
to
name.
like, hey, hey?
No, no.
You talking
I
about
don't
like
need
what
your
type of-
name to talk to you. When I say get your attentions is you have on a nice outfit. I come, I compliment you. I walk away, going about my business. You just like, oh, that was nice. Someone gave me a compliment today. To
Mhm.
get your attention is to remember that Tone gave you a compliment that day.
Now
Tone
elaborate.
is an individual that you want to know more about. That's getting your attention.
You just saying it, but you're not saying how.
I'm not going to tell you all my tricks.
Oh, it's a trick, huh?
Okay. I'm not going to tell you
It's
everything
a
because if I
skill
put
to
it,
that. It's
it is a
something to
skill.
it.
It's a
See?
skill. It's chess, remember?
Well, that's why I feel like all men say
Not
the
all
same
men.
thing. Like
No,
they feel
all
like
men don't not. You can say that, but here's the thing. Like I said, listening to it and listening to a woman and paying attention, a woman will tell you everything you need to know about her. The thing about it is the biggest trick about women is don't go into every scenario with every woman thinking the same things work on all of them.
okay.
You have to treat every single woman as a brand new individual. So you
Okay.
have to study her movements, her mannerisms, her talking, what she likes, her color schemes, things that excite her, things that annoy her. You have to study each individual woman as a brand new piece of art.
And this is from going from dating to courting. This
Going
is
from
the
dating to
the
courting.
process of
Yeah,
going
going
from
from
dating to
dating to
courting. You
courting.
knowing you paying attention.
If you're paying attention, and what makes it possible, because sometimes if you're doing what you're supposed to in the dating phase, she will move you to the courting phase.
Mm-hmm.
That woman who's not ready for a relationship will see not only the effort that you're doing, but your effort is intentional. Because I've been told multiple times that there's sometimes a woman will not want to go into a relationship with you because she's unsure that you look at her as the one. Okay. As long as you have options and your mannerisms project as if you have options, she's not going to lock herself down because she doesn't feel secure enough to give the exact amount of effort that you're giving. Because something about what you're doing is making her feel that your other
Unsafe.
option, not even just unsafe, but you're not the only option. Like if she goes to work and she can't be on her phone during that 8 hours, you're probably talking to somebody else. But we're only dating, so there's nothing to trip about. But if throughout that day or your past actions have proven that when you say you were on my mind today, your actions back that up by whether the words you use, whether you send little gifts, whether there are memes that you post, you'd be surprised how much memes can say a lot for people.
Okay, no, I agree with that.
Okay.
The memes and the videos. I gotta say something about the safe. I said feeling safe because you have to, as a woman, I think we want to feel like we can trust you. We can let our guard down. We'll be taken care of emotionally and mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're right. Like she's not gonna just allow you to continue and like have her heart when you're not showing that you're safe for her.
Exactly.
The other thing I have a question. We're
Question
talking
it.
about dating and courting, right?
Okay.
So do you think that men, or how do you think men feel about going from dating to courting? Um and are they what type of men are ready for that, or what does it take? Because what I heard you say about dating is that it's just like an option. It's fun. It's just something to do. Like we're getting to know each other. And then courting is intentional,
Mm-hmm.
meaning we're trying to be married. We're trying to be serious with each other. Just one and one. However
Whatever
we
you
deem as
consider serious looks
something.
like to you, yeah,
Yeah.
or intention is to you,
Yeah.
because not everybody. We have to accept the fact that not everybody wants marriage.
Right.
Okay, some people want that long term commitment, and even if you're there forever, babe, that's my
Mm-hmm.
phrase I like to use. Um, it still feels good.
Because whatever you've worked out as this is safe for me, I feel good with this.
Right,
We're gonna keep going on this path.
right.
Right.
You're gonna go on that path, and
Now,
plus, relationships have levels. You know,
exactly.
you can start off with just being the forever bae, and it could turn into the fiance.
Mm-hmm.
It could turn into the wife. It could turn into whatever you choose to make it turn into. But
Yeah.
to get to that place where both he and she feels comfortable with those levels, you got to put that effort there.
So there's this weird place where we are in our society.
Okay.
And I'm gonna blame it on social media. I was just talking to some random
Everything,
guy.
everything social media.
Um,
Fuck.
it was because a man will complain about dating. No, dating come first before courting, because
Okay.
one is intentional, one is
What?
just what it is.
Yeah.
A man will complain about dating when the things that he's doing as while he's dating are all the things that lead to courting.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's because you just want to skip the part where you got to spend money and go on dates, or the part where you got to spend time or be held accountable or communicate, or those things are required when you're dating.
True.
And they're also required when you decide to court, when you decide that she's the one.
Right.
So why are men complaining about the dating part?
Okay. Social media is the worst place
It is.
to get any advice on anything. Social media is a cesspool of ignorancy and validation of ignorancy, because a bald-headed dude with a beard and a podcast can go on social media and say whatever rhetoric he decides, and because people can connect to people, some other bald-headed dude without a podcast is going to agree with him and say it as law. And then it starts this whole trickle down effect of negative conversations, to the point where the next generation of people be like, it must be right because they were talking about it.
That's where I saw it.
That's where I saw that. So, and that's bad. I talk about podcasts while being on the podcast. That's terrible. But yeah, social media has created this popcorn effect where I like you, I want you, we go together. Right now. And unfortunately, there are some women out there who say, okay. So it's a two-way street. Men say, I want this, I need this, let's do this, and we're here. And there's women that be like, okay. And now he done went and started telling everybody, this worked for me, it should work for you. And then another woman be like, well, he got money, so I'm just here for the bag. Yes, we go together. And it's just this popcorn relationship mentality where nobody has learned anything about anybody. They're just touching each other on the inside consistently because people want that one person who touches them. That's like, well, me and you slept together, so I guess we go together now because it's safer for us to just do this instead of try to learn somebody. And
now you stuck because
you
expecting courting
right
out of dating.
And then y'all been in this relationship with this narcissistic person for 3.5 years, and now you finally get out of it and you got to work on yourself because you don't know what dating looks like anymore. So you just make a bunch of memes about I'd rather be single than dealing with this again, instead of trying to figure out what courting really looks like.
Figure out who you are so that you'll know how to move slow.
You know who who you are. You have to just learn to adjust your expectations. Like I said, the person who I'm friends with, who we decide to be friends first and see if it grows into something else, made me learn how to break all of those mentalities. That popcorn mentality had to be broken. And it's cool because it's a fun new experience when you're not dating with intentions right away. Yeah. When you're being a friend first and you're just enjoying each other's company, and you're learning each other, and you're creating that healthy foundation and making those pillars of communications and everything like that. When you do decide to say, okay, let's go ahead and let's build the second level of this house now, it's solid, it's firm, because the friendship was there, the relationship was there. I know her patterns, she knows mine. And because of the friendship being like that, if I have a bad day, she knows, oh, nigga, I ain't heard from you. What's going on? Or if I know you just had 12,000 things you had to do before work this morning, you know what? I'm going to send you some flowers. I don't even need to talk to you today. I'm going to send you some flowers because I know the simple fact of getting that flowers is going to make the biggest difference of how you manage the rest of the day. Yeah. Because this, you're thinking about me, makes you really feel upbeat and appreciated. So when you feel appreciated, you can handle things differently. So if we ever decide to go to that courting phase, everything about what needs to make us happy is already established. We've already put that effort in. You know my physical touch. You know my words of affirmation. You know my quality times. You know my levels of gift giving. You know my acts of service. You know everything in my love language chart in the order of importance it is to me. That literally doing it with intentions now is just doing it with intention. Mm-hmm. You know?
It's a mental.
Yeah. So us
shift.
hanging out now turns into Friday night date nights instead. You know? Yeah. I know you like to do this and do that. Ooh, this game is coming in town. Or, ooh, you know what? I got a friend who got Bucks tickets. I know she likes this team. Let me get these tickets. Yeah. Or, hey, the boat cruise is coming up. It's because it's all right. Like, come on, we're gonna go do this. Or, hey, I'm sick of the world right now. I'm gonna duck off for 2 days. Here's my location. Feel free to join me. Cool. Mm-hmm. And she'd be like, shit, nigga, I need a break too. I'm already there. You know? And that's the scenario. That's the intentions in that point. Yeah. It goes from, okay, let me rephrase that. That's the friends. Intentions is we going here this weekend to hide from the world. Give everybody this information because this is the only phone they're going to reach us on. And it's just us.
Yeah, that sounds intentional for sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a process in my head going from, first of all, getting a friend. To me, that's the process. That's finding the friend. You gotta find them first.
Thing. The reason why I want to have this conversation because you are having the opposite issue that the rest of the world is having. The rest of the world is having such a difficult time finding a successful forever bae, but you are having a difficult time just finding a solid friend.
Like when I tell you, this is a struggle.
Let me ask you.
You know what I think? Yeah, go ahead. Ask me.
No, go ahead. Like, go ahead.
I don't know. Maybe I'm. So I have extreme discernment, right? Mm-hmm. I have extreme discernment, but I'm also still learning me.
Okay.
Like I'm still trying to figure out who I am, what I like.
Is it because of now that you're divorcing that you're trying to figure out what single Dallas Desi looks like now?
Yes.
Okay.
And also not bringing in the old ways of thinking, like some of the toxic ways that I thought about men and women and how they.
What were some of those toxic ways that you're trying to break?
Some of the ways is that I'm not approaching no nigga. And I don't know. I feel like maybe I have to switch that up because if it starts with friendship, that means that I have to be intentional about creating that friendship space instead of letting the man come up to me where it's more likely that he would be interested in me. So I have to be bold and brave and go up to him and say, hey, I want to be your friend. I mean, I might not say it like that, but it sets the tone.
But here's the funny part.
Our friendship, right?
I guarantee you, this is how simplistic us men could be. You could actually walk up to us and be like, I just want to be your friend. And we might be like, okay, what are you drinking? And then literally our mindset and now at this point is as cute as she is, this is my little homie.
No, it's not. I don't know why you sitting up here lying. Like if I walk up to a man in a bar and I said, hey, can I be your friend? Let's just take the bar out because that's usually like, we attracting each other. Let's say we're at an event, a networking event, professional. I walk up to a man. I say, hey, how are you? I really want to be your friend. that is not gonna turn into okay, yeah, let's be friends. That's gonna turn into oh, she's shooting her shot.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. Like,
Yes,
oh
it
my
is.
God,
Yes, it
you
is.
want to know what your issue is? You are
What?
blinded by your pretty privilege that you
It's
don't
not.
think.
It's
No, 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 no,
experience.
no, no.
I'm basing it
You
on off
are
of real life
blinded.
stuff.
You are blinded. You are also a natural flirt. So
That
you
part.
don't just walk up to somebody and say, "Hey, you are a dope person. I would love to be your friend." Because believe it or not, if you said that to men, not all men, but most men will be like, "Okay." Now,
I just don't feel confident in that mindset. Man is not gonna be like, okay, let's be friends. Where?
your pretty
Point them
privilege,
out.
your pretty privilege has you at such a high expectations
Mm-mm.
that no one could just be your friend.
We need to take a poll. We need to take a survey
I need to see the
so that
circles
we
and
can
spaces
see.
you be around. That's
It
what I
don't
need to
matter. It
see.
don't
No,
matter.
because
I'm
here's the
telling you, I
reason
could go.
why.
I could be in church. I could be at a networking event. I could be here. I could be anywhere
I
at a
am.
bar. I could be.
I need. You know what? I'm so mad you are only here for a brief moment in time because I would do a whole month experiment with you where every time we go out, I am coming with you
To watch.
just
Yep.
to watch.
Just to watch. And
I
you
will
will
tell
find out. I
I
am
will
not.
tell everybody, look, I am her butler. I am whatever excuse to make you not think I'm
You can
some
just
dude.
sit. Nobody even got to know you there with me. You can just sit in the chair over there and have your drink and just watch. You
If
will
we
see.
go if we go to black, you gotta come with
What's
us.
tonight?
Today's
What's today?
Friday.
Friday. Exactly. Let's go out.
If
Let's go
not,
somewhere.
my pocket's tight tonight. I
Oh
might
yeah, you got to worry about that. That's another thing. I go out, I don't think about paying for drinks. That don't even come across my head. I know that I gotta have something in my pocket.
all right.
But when I go, I don't be like, oh my God, I can't, I'm not gonna be able to drink.
The
And
power, the
if I
power
can't,
of
if I
pretty
don't get a drink,
privilege.
I will be fine. Okay. I can walk around sober and be just fine.
The
But it's likely that I
power,
won't.
the power of pretty privilege is on 10 with you.
I love how you're blaming it on pretty privilege when
The
really it's just the reality of me, any
the
woman,
power
any
of
woman.
pretty
Even if
privilege
she's not
is
pretty, which
strong
is
on the
impossible,
no,
but
no, no, no. Okay.
it's a feminine. It's not even
No,
about
no, no,
pretty.
no.
It's about a
See,
woman
this
versus
is
a
kind of
man.
what this is kind of why I'm
It's
mad.
aura
This is
and
kind of the reason why I'm mad. Me and my brother are not doing the episode tonight because he had an emergency that's coming up. He had
that's why
emergency.
it's 8:04.
Yeah, he had an emergency that came up, and literally, that's when you told me, Tone, I don't like. He was literally telling me what's going on.
I'm sorry to
The
hear that.
power of pretty privilege
So
doesn't
now
necessarily
let me
mean
take
that.
this post off because I didn't post it.
I know, and that's why I'm mad because normally yeah, I'm gonna cuss him out. Normally
Did
we
he see my post? I'm sorry. Keep.
I don't think he did.
Okay, because I didn't want to. Maybe
I don't
that
think
was
he
like,
did.
okay.
No, it wouldn't have bothered him.
Okay.
He was ready for the conversation tonight too. So,
Okay.
no, when I say the power of pretty privilege, okay, I don't necessarily mean like naturally beautiful women who's been beautiful all their lives. I'm talking the simple fact that when you look good, okay, when you're the cutie in the room, y'all do get away with a lot of stuff that would cause other people to have to take notice. Like, for an example, we go to the bar, okay? We go out to the bar. Even though we all cool, we hanging out, the pretty girls will always get their orders taken care of right away. They always have that person coming over there. They'll always have that guy interested in you, or girl, because sexuality is a spectrum, that will come and be interested in you. There are very, very rare moments when I go out with my friends and there is not at least somebody trying to pull them. And it be gangs of women.
Somebody trying to do what now?
Pull their attention.
Oh.
You know, tap your elbows, hold you. It's like, hey, what's going on? Catch you by the bathroom. I always thought that's the weirdest place to pick up a girl. Like nigga, why are you trying to shoot your shot when she's trying to go pee? Nigga, she definitely gonna tell you no because she got something else on her mind right now. Plus, nigga, you don't know what she going in that bathroom for. You trying to shoot your shot? Nigga, you need to chill out. But that's a whole nother conversation. But I've seen how the better looking of the groups, that one friend that's the cutest of everybody, gets away with murder at times. And it doesn't have to do nothing with natural beauty. It could be the makeup, it could be the outfit, it could be the curves, it could be multitude of different things. It's definitely not the personality in most cases. It's the power of pretty privilege. Because until you open your mouth and tell people how beautiful your mind is, you would probably get away with murder before then.
I don't. That's from your experience. I don't disagree, especially like depending on what it is. But I guess
It's
we'll
it's
just have
it's,
to.
it's the
We'll just have
but
to.
nigga it's the but nigga it is what it is.
I
Is what you're
mean,
saying.
yeah. I'm not.
Ain't
I'm
wrong.
not. I don't know. I do know that when I go into a bar or when I go out, I don't. I don't think about money.
You shouldn't, but I've also seen some very sad situations where there has been women who came with the intentions of that being the case and get nothing. Not a single person buys them a drink. Don't spend nothing. It'd be
Well,
funny. You do.
how do you know that that's the issue?
They're a little
Unless
bit.
they with you, unless you know them, unless they
They're a little
told
bit.
you.
They're a lot of times they're a little bit too pushy about getting a drink.
Mm,
Because I've definitely seen. Hey, you cute. You want to buy me a drink? Why would I buy you a drink? Thank you. I know I'm fine, but
I would
still,
never ask.
you'd be surprised.
I'm
I've
just.
seen it.
I'll just not drink.
I've seen it. No, but the thing about me is, and most of the time, if you're with me, the situation that you have, if you're with me and we're out, you don't buy drinks. I usually, and even with my friends, I don't buy all the drinks for everybody,
Right.
but I will if you're specifically with me and we've had this conversation with me, you usually are taken care of. Two reasons why I do that. One is because I can control your intake without you realizing it. Hear me out.
What? As your friend, I'm gonna let you say that. Go ahead,
No,
finish
no.
your.
Hear what I'm saying. Getting sloppy drunk is not ladylike. Okay.
So you don't trust your friends
Hear me out.
to.
Hear me out. Being sloppy drunk is not ladylike. Depending on the circumstances, for some of my friends, after so many drinks, they turn into an individual that's not bearable. Okay. Maintaining your intake allows the party to keep moving smoothly and everybody can have fun without you realizing I am controlling your intake.
That's challenging.
This is how great of a friend I am.
I
Because it
don't know.
is.
I don't know how to call it that. I feel like it's a little manipulative, but I totally get it. Like
Once again, it's
to.
I want you to have a good time, but I don't want you to be that person who I found you in the grass. I've had friends in my past. I've had friends, both male and females, where we know you can't take more than 2 drinks. But because you're a fun loving person, you don't turn down the shots. You don't turn down the drinks. So if we know we all coming out to celebrate, and I was like, you with me, I got you, fam. Whether it's a guy or a girl,
I
I
just
got
love
you.
to hear that. That's my favorite thing when I go out. I got you.
Ooh,
Thank you for having me.
I got you. Don't worry about it. One of the things is to control your intake because if we are taking shots and I already know you can't do more than 3 shots, I'm going to minimize your side drinks. I'm going to regulate how many side. Okay, we've already taken 4 shots. This nigga gets fucked up. Hey, bro, I'm going to go grab me. Do you want something? Because I know I'm going to cut you off in a minute. He don't need to know that because you got to remember 2 shots in, you not work. Yeah, we having a great time. Also, you sit here and you talking to the bartender. Hey man, let me go ahead and get some Don. Cause she gonna come to me for the cards. Like, yeah, he wanted to go ahead and order some Don Julio's. No, don't put that on there. He good. And then
that sounds very ideal.
And the crazy part about it is because remember he's having too much fun. He doesn't realize he ordered a drink. He doesn't realize he never got his drink. You see what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
So not only did I regulate what you drunk, I regulate your intake. I know that you're at capacity. You've had enough.
You want to know something crazy?
What's up?
I think that's great of you as a friend to do that to your friends. Okay, and I feel like more friends should be like that. But when you go out, when women can't say I just me, like this just happened. Men are buying us drinks
Okay.
And it's not at a let me figure out your limit rate.
No,
It's
no, no,
at a
no.
it's at a
It's a
get another drink rate.
yeah,
You
no,
want
no.
another one kind of rate.
And that's another reason why I'm like that, especially with my female friends. And niggas might hate to hear this, but you not gonna get my friend drunk and try to take her home.
Okay.
Okay. Especially if she came with me. I have to know you, and I have to know you came here for her, and she wants some dick tonight for me to even be okay.
You gotta know all of that in order.
I gotta know that.
So what if the answer is yes? That's what he wants. How do
Then
you proceed?
I keep go and do what you want to between y'all two for the rest of the night. I'm keeping tabs on you because he may have said something during that conversation while you 3 drinks in and feeling tipsy and you don't feel safe. I need you to still know that you can still come back over here, and if we got to go hide a body, we got to go hide a body.
Oh goodness.
I'm very protective of my friends out in public because I've had too many of them that have woken up in situations where they didn't know how they got there. I have a sister, love her dearly, who has a beautiful niece who we don't know how he got here. Okay.
The niece don't know how he got here.
No, we don't. I meant to say how she got here. We don't know how she got here because my sister got raped and she got pregnant. And the reason why I say we don't know how she got here because we don't know how she got pregnant because of those blackout drunken night situations. And those nights often or not began off the back of her going out partying with her friends.
Yeah.
I'm very protective of the women friend in my life simply because men ain't shit sometimes. And if pussy is our pursuit, we will do what need to. I've had friends who have had Visines put in their drinks. I've had it's a date rape drug. It's a date rape thing. It's basically put Visines in your inhibition. You basically are loopy drunk
right away.
Yeah, and then they could literally take advantage. I've had friends who have been in clubs where we're just all having a good time and has been groped and fondled to the point where they still have bad dreams about these nights of going out. So it wasn't until the club was completely shut down that they ever get a day of rest after that. I've had being a safe space as who I am really opens a lot of doors to hear things about how men and women really are that we don't want to think about how they are. So there are times and there are things where I do stuff a certain way on purpose for more so your safety. And you don't need to know I do these things because at the end of the day, they're for your safety. But I also study room. So yes, if we're all coming out and somebody's coming to meet you here, and it is somebody you've been talking to, we probably already should have had a conversation about this person to begin with. Because if we're close enough like that, that you're inviting someone to hang out with us in our circle, it usually means it's somebody that you are already dealing with and intimate enough to want us to see who they are. So I should know something already. And then if you're leaving with this person, I still need to know information because I don't know where he or she, because sexuality is a spectrum, is going to take you. Because I don't want to be the person who wakes up the next day and be like, hey, have you heard from Desi? Well, she left out last night with some guy. What guy? Now here I am doing a police report description of what the guy looked like. All because I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I think that you're one out of a million people who would go so far as to like be that protective. I feel like if men had that mindset when they went in, like this a woman, we need to make sure that she's good. If she look like she getting too pissy drunk, we should keep an eye on her. Make sure that who she leaving with, we pay attention to them.
Right.
If men thought that way, there would be so many less incidents in the club or in a bar or out socially where men and women are getting drunk. Because I'm sorry, I feel honored that you were vulnerable and shared that about your sister and her niece or whatever, but that shouldn't happen to nobody.
It shouldn't.
And it's because men don't have self-control.
Facts.
And you're not looking at women like they need to be protected. You're looking at them like a piece of meat that you can just deal with, that you can just have. Everything ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I have high discernment with men, and one of the things and the ways that I protect myself is, even if I am drinking too much, I make sure I'm with somebody that I can trust, and it don't have to be a man. 9 times out of 10, it's my friends, my
Right.
females. But I'm not just doing anything. I'm just not letting anything happen. And that starts with the conversation.
Right.
We're not talking about sex, because how is that the first thing? Like,
Because that's the only reason why they here.
exactly. But that's known though. Like, you're not getting one up on me because you call me beautiful. I'm just like, oh,
That's
no,
because
it's okay.
because they expecting you to be young, drunk, and dumb.
Which is unfortunate.
Because there's so many. Because unfortunately, a lot of people lead with their genitalias in their thinking process, both men and women. So a lot of times these men are literally looking for the women who they want some dick. They just need to let their guard down to let you get the dick. And the thing about
I
me
feel
is
like that's more normal than when it's unwanted.
exactly
If
that's like you
if
said.
I'm looking at you and I'm like, I want, I know what I want, I'm going to show you that I'm gonna, like, you won't have to question it. I'm gonna flirt more, I'm gonna touch more, I'm gonna let you touch. You know what I'm saying? My back, my arm, my booty, maybe a little bit. Like, I'm gonna show you that that's what I want. But it's people out here who don't have that pause. You
They
don't
don't.
have that, that boundary up. You just let whatever happen.
Unfortunately, there are a lot of people who do not have the boundaries, both men and women.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
and I'm not justifying anybody's actions because I don't. I think that's weird. I don't even like. Fun fact: I don't like drunk sex. It's not even. I can't. I can't.
I can't.
I can't. Definitely, if it's in like the early phases of us, nah, we can't go home with you drunk. One of my biggest fears is to ever be accused of rape.
I think a lot of men have that same mindset.
Like it's like I. It's also it's like one of the biggest reasons why I won't date a white woman. That and they ain't got no lips, but I will not date a white.
Just kiss your face.
I just will not date a white woman because the biggest fear that you will accuse me of rape, and it's not even that kind of a situation.
That's crazy that's followed us from Emmett Till. Like, back in history,
It's just history, period.
that is not like you don't feel safe.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
it's terrible. But
It is. That's why you should stay.
we'll come to the end of this episode. So I'd like to thank Desi for stopping through. This will not be the last you see of her here on TDR. So definitely make sure you check out all the shows on TDR. Over the course of the next couple of weeks, I guarantee you will hear her voice and see her face in one shape or form because this woman has a story like none other. Make sure you check us out on all streaming platforms. That's Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio. If you are catching the YouTube of this, make sure you also stop in this weekend at Sherman Phoenix and catch the panel MKE live as we talk about loyalty, trust, and respect this weekend with Desi on it.
I was just gonna say I'll be there.
And she actually is going to be our special guest this time around. How can they find you though?
Oh my goodness! I always let me look. Desi Ray, Instagram, Facebook, Desi Ray, Desi Lynn. Yeah, that's it. Ain't that it?
Ain't you got a show?
I do have Beyond Fearless podcast, but I'm not actively.
Don't you got 3 episodes that people can listen to?
I do.
Okay. Then.
Well, listen on Spotify, Beyond Fearless podcast. You can listen on Spotify, iHeartRadio, I don't know, wherever else stuff play at. I don't know.
Don't you have a business that you also run?
Oh, you said where can they find you?
Yeah.
My business. I don't have a website right now.
We gotta get you a website.
So here's the thing. I'm a very creative person. I'm on Canva. I love doing flyers. I love creating, making, beautiful works of art. And I felt like a website would be that. Like I can just go in there and be creative, add my colors, add my font, But it's some technique to create a website.
I could have told you that.
I don't got it, child. And when I tell you I tried. I've been with GoDaddy.com. I think
Squarespace.
Okay, well, we're going to have to talk because if I had a choice, I would not do my own website.
Most people don't want to do their own website.
I cannot. So I'm not, but my business is called Beyond Fearless. It's a youth development, women empowerment company. Um,
I am
I
so
am just
mad.
now moved. I've just now relocated to Texas, so I haven't been as active with my workshops or my events because I don't have a network yet.
We're
But it's
working on that.
coming. It's
Right.
coming.
I am really, really sad that I found out about your business right when you got ready to move because I feel like my daughters would have benefited from one of your workshops.
Yeah.
Yes, I when I heard that, I think that's really how our friendship started. You did the episode with
Kenda.
Kenda
Her daughter was
about
in the workshop.
yeah,
She came.
about the workshop.
Yeah.
So you came, you did the episode, and I was like, yes, when next time this come around, I purposely friended you for the sole purpose of getting my babies, at least my oldest, if anything, especially since she had just became a young woman for the first time,
Yeah.
around about that same time, to just be a part of that because I think that that would have helped her tremendously.
Yeah.
And then you moved,
I
and
know.
it's hard finding somebody that's willing to have that conversation. The great thing about my girls, they got tons of fucking aunties,
Hmm.
but it's just something about that
Yeah.
specific care of that conversation that makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I need you to get back out there and do what you do.
I will. And now that I know I can travel, more freely, and when I come, I still have people who can support me. If I want to do a
Mm-hmm.
workshop, I can.
Of course.
I wish that I had time to throw one together now. Yesterday, I was on something. I was on something. I was
Should have
about to
hit me
put
up.
some stuff together,
Because
but
worst case scenario, if I gotta make a couple of phone calls to Sherman Phoenix, we'll do it here. We got to.
I don't want to do too much. And this tour that I'm on is taking up a lot of
I
my
could have told you
energy.
that.
When I go home, I'm finna pray, meditate, and get myself back to self.
So you can come back here tomorrow
But
and do you with me all day
the whole week,
tomorrow.
all day. It's been a week. It's
You
been a week.
you with me the whole day tomorrow. I might as well be prepared to feed you tomorrow.
Please. Oh my goodness. I don't know if
Cause
I'm gonna make it if I don't get fed.
we'll feed you. We ain't like that here at TDR. If I don't feed you, Jess will feed you, Lachelle will feed you, hell, the
Somebody
panel
better
will feed
feed
you. We
me.
gonna feed you.
I'm gonna be hungry.
That's gonna be your payment for the panel. We gonna feed you.
Oh, I appreciate that. Food is my love language at this
Food
point.
is a lot of people love languages,
Hmm.
and I'm glad it is. That's why I'm fat. It's actually how the girl's mom bagged me.
She a cooker. She be
No,
cooking.
no, it wasn't even because she was cooking. Okay, so I'll tell you the story off air, but we'll make sure you talk to you people later. Tune into everything we're doing here, and with that being said, we are out of here, people. Peace.
Bye.